Hi, I'm Ann Bracken. I've been a contributing editor with LPR for probably 10 years. I'm a local author. I have 3 books of poetry and a memoir, and I would say that my special area of interest is using the arts for social change. So I particularly like to write about the intersection of art and social justice. And I think today's interview qualifies for that. I have been very troubled, as I know many people are, by all the news of book banning in the United States. Book bans, most recently in Escambia County, Florida, they have banned several versions of a children's dictionary. So that's how extreme some of the forces are that are involved in censorship. For the interview, I interviewed a Texas librarian named Becky Calzada, who founded a program called Freedom Readers, and she works with other librarians to counteract the movement towards book banning and to promote the freedom to read. And I interviewed 2 local authors, Laura Chauvin and Susan Mawadi Daraj. So I'll be reading excerpts from each of those brief interviews. So the first is Laura, and this is my question. Laura, when I first met you, you primarily wrote poetry, and later you became an editor for an anthology and for Little Patuxent Review. Now many people know you as a middle grade author for your books, The Last Fifth Grade of Emerson Elementary, The Takedown, A Place at the Table, and Welcome to Monsterville. What made you decide to pursue a career in writing books for children and young adults? I've been an educator my whole life, including several years as a high school English teacher. However, my verse novel, The Last Fifth Grade of Emerson Elementary, came out of my experience as a visiting poet in the schools for the Maryland State Arts Council. Since most of the kids I work with are upper elementary and middle school students, this is the age I enjoy writing for the most. Each of my novels explores a question. What should children do when they feel their voices aren't heard by adults? That's The Last Fifth Grade of Emerson Elementary. When you're a kid, what's the cost of competing in a sport at a high level? She focuses on that question in The Takedown. And in A Place at the Table, she deals with the question, what does it mean to be the child of an immigrant when you are a United States citizen? I'm working now on imagining life, what life might be like with a flooded Chesapeake Bay. So that's Laura. And all of us that love reading know that the purpose of literature is to explore life and to explore people and experiences that are different from our own. So that's the point I'm hoping to make when I talk about the authors. The next author is Susan Mawadi Daraj, and she is a Palestinian American. She has a series of books about a young girl named Farah, who is also Palestinian American. What I found interesting about the story in Farah Rock's Fifth Grade was that her family background as a Palestinian American played a minor role, though the information about her heritage and family was still important to the story. Stronger themes that I noticed were about family responsibility, bullying, and working through friendship challenges. How have children responded to the character of Farah and to her challenges? And Susan answers, I've done many school visits, and I have more lined up in the fall. I'm thrilled that students really respond to the readings. They especially respond to the fact that Farah is working class and her family struggles financially. More kids connect than you would expect. And lastly, I'm going to read from a section of Becky's interview. One of the things I find most fascinating about the people who want to ban books is that they seem to think librarians are not trained in how to select age-appropriate literature. Becky, please describe your background in children's literature and tell our readers how librarians select books for both public and school libraries. What are your guiding principles? And Becky answered, as part of my graduate coursework, I took classes in children's and young adult literature. I also took a course on collection development, which showed me how to review, assess, plan, and purchase titles based on curricular needs while addressing the diverse reading needs of every student. The principles that guide my purchases are school board policies, which specifically spell out selection guidelines. I consider the content to determine whether it's relevant, current, and needed in our collections. I also consider book reviews, recommended reading lists, and personal recommendations from other library professionals. Finally, I consider my community. I want to provide diverse perspectives and also be inclusive of authors from all backgrounds. Their unique experiences can open up a conversation with the stories that they write. And at the end of the interview are several resources that you can explore if you would like to somehow be involved or just learn more about the Freedom to Read movement. Thank you.